Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of E2C Network Live, where we get together, we sit down, and we talk about what's going on in the world of the Auburn family spectrum. We're always heavy on the sports here, but if it's orange and blue, it is what we do. Thank you for joining us, whether you're watching here on a random live stream on a Monday morning, or if you're watching on the replay. We appreciate you being here, hanging out with us, spending some time talking about something within the Auburn family spectrum with us. So this is a little bit unconventional on today's live stream. We're going to be doing just a very short segment about, or podcast, if you will, if you want to term it that way, about this topic. I guess I should have brought this one up first to have that up there. Revisiting the Jordan-Hare renovations from 2015 that never were. That's been a topic that has popped up on social media in the last 24 hours. I don't know how it started, but it just got me thinking. I wanted to talk about those for some time now. So I thought it would be a good time to test out something that we've been kind of contemplate seeing if you guys would like from us, some shorter form live streams, maybe in the morning times. And so that's kind of why we're doing it this time, but also why we're doing this topic. Just some of those unique topics other than just breaking down a game, breaking down the news and stuff like that. So that is why we're here at this time. That is why we're doing this live stream. But it's also a really cool topic that I wanted to bring up to you guys and have some discussion from me. And as always, when we're live, I'll tend to take questions about the topic as they're appropriate, or comments or things like that. But I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of extra early morning content. So thank you for joining us. Now, listen, it's only on YouTube. So share it out on social media if you can. We're trying to give you guys on YouTube, pluses for being here with us. This is where we want you guys to congregate for the most part. So this is not broadcasting to Twitter. This is not broadcasting to Facebook that I know of at this moment. So, unless I did that without knowing. So it's just you guys. So do me a favor right now, as we always do when we get together, smash that like button, hit that share button on there, the anything that you can do. And right now, post where you're watching from, city, state, international, with a War Eagle. I want to know who is here, who's hanging out with us and spending time being part of our little family within the Auburn family. So let me start off getting us on our conversation going forward as you guys kind of come in, get settled, and get checked in. I had brought this up earlier and I meant to not bring it up till now, but here is a tweet from Auburn Tigers Twitter official account from December 2015. December 16th, 2015. And they released a survey with these renovation ideas. And you used to be able to go to this link right here and check it out. But alas, that link no longer works. Now, again, this was 7 years ago. So you can imagine that in that time frame, there's been a lot that's changed. Maybe not exactly wanting to do these renovations, which, would be understandable from a certain point of view if it's not exactly financially viable in the future. But it would be fun just for us to take a walk back, since this was popular on social media, and kind of give our impressions about it and see what you guys think as well. So I'm going to bring the pictures up a little bit closer. Dusty's in the dentist office. Demarius Rowe, good to see you guys. Good morning to you. I wouldn't say get used to these in the morning right now, but don't be shocked if there's a few more of these shorter form podcasts, live stream podcasts, if you want to call them, to start off your Auburn mornings. So that's what we're going to be talking about. These images that they released as part of a survey back in 2015 that clearly has either been scrapped or has been put back on the drawing board, because if you go to that link, all you got to do is type up Jordan-Hare Renovations. It'll be like the first thing that pops up on Twitter, and it goes to a 404 page not found. So you can go look for yourself, unless I clicked on it incorrectly or something, but it will not take you to an article, to a survey, to anything like that to give you more information about this. So that's why we're going to talk about it here today. So let's jump right into it and look at some of these images. I'm going to bring them up a little bit closer for you all, because I know that'll be a little bit more helpful, and look at Jordan-Hare expanding. That's been a big topic of conversation, from time to time. Is it time for Jordan-Hare to expand or renovate? Now, to me, this is more of an expansion than a renovation, because renovations would be things like what's been discussed on social media, putting handrails in and stuff like that, making the bathrooms better. But in some sense, this is a renovation too, but more so an expansion, because I believe it would have gotten us up into the upper 90s in terms of attendance numbers, not breaking 100,000, but into the upper 90s, which would be pretty formidable. The question is can Auburn fill it right now? Based off this season, the 2022 season, probably not. But we'll see. Pop culture says we need the renovation. Our outside facade is not good. You got to. Oh. Listen. Clint is mad because I'm not doing this one in him, and rightfully so. That is true. We will do one where we actually talk about the renovations that need to happen. So I am sorry that I didn't think about you for that. Donnie says we don't need to expand, reduce seating, and replace the benches with true stadium chairs. I don't think we need to reduce. If you can fill up a stadium for 3 and 6, you're going to be able to fill up a stadium if you start winning again. So I don't think we need to reduce seating in any way. I think we need to probably make right what we have. But that's a topic for another day. That's a topic for Clint Richardson to tackle with me. So sorry, buddy, that I didn't even think about it. This was kind of on a whim type of thing. All right, let's look at some of these pictures and maybe not necessarily ask the question, is it time to expand? Is it time to renovate? But what do we think about these concepts? So I'm going to give you the outside facade, and all these pictures come courtesy of auburntigers.com. They're going to be a little grainy considering, I'm sure the file, what do you call it, size that they were back then. But here you can see the outside of Jordan-Hare Stadium. And what sticks out to me when I looked at this, not just another giant video board, but this nice wraparound, and I'm using my cursor on here. I know you guys can't see the cursor, but this nice wraparound on the back end where, the visiting team now comes, the north side of Heisman Drive, because over to your left would be like Haley Center, all that type of stuff. It really would make that side of the stadium open up more, look prettier, nicer. Not that it looks terrible now. Someone said earlier that they thought that the outside facade looks terrible. I don't think it does. No, I'm not saying it's the prettiest thing, but I've been to much worse outside facade stadium. What is it? The Swamp, Benton Hill Griffin Stadium, Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. There's some ugly outside of the stadiums, in my opinion. Now, I haven't been there recently, so they could have changed, but I remember them not being all that great. So big video board, obviously some expansion and seating, probably some, better situations and suites and stuff. We'll look in just a second, but you can see the outside there. All right, let's move over to this image. This gives you a perspective of what it would look like in the stadium. There's that giant video board. And who's number 12? Clint, if you're still watching, who's number 12 up there? That's what I want to know. You can see that it pretty much takes that north end zone, and it would kind of reduce the seating a little bit. It would put some more, put some down here on the ground level still, some stadium seating above that, and then some extra of those orange seats up there as well, and then create some boxes, club level type of things, and an upper deck around the top. To me, I really like, if you're going to do an upper deck, to expand further with what you already have, this to me kind of works the best, because if I'm looking at this correctly, it doesn't connect all the way. Let's go back to that other image and look. Yeah. So it doesn't connect with your upper deck and make it one big bowl, but it kind of creates that bowl-like facade with creating that little upper deck, extra seating up there. Josh Wallace, is that Josh or John Wallace? You mean Jonathan Wallace? His guess? Yeah. As much as we need to do the baseball stand. Well, yeah, this is just for funsies. We know this isn't reality right now. This is just kind of looking back at these things. Auburn family can fill the stadium no matter what. Well, we can if we want to, but you got to give us reasons to do so. There were recent renderings where there was a video board in the northeastern end zone corners, plus a full. Yeah, I've seen those, and those are some. We're just revisiting the 2015 ones right now. All right, so we've looked at this image a little bit. We've looked at that. I actually kind of like this a lot. I don't love the concept of more box seats, more exclusivity type of things. I like filling more of the common folk in there. So I prefer that a little bit more, but I do like this upper deck type of situation up there by the video board. That would be a really cool faux bowl type of look to me. All right, so this is almost like a cross section. Again, I apologize for the image quality. I thought it would be a little bit better on there. But you can see a cross section of that new expansion of the end zone, that upper deck situation, the club seatings, the inside of those suites that they would probably have for executives and other people that want to purchase things, and then how they would make they almost kind of push the end zone seating up a little bit closer to some degree for a few of those seats, like those orange seats. And then those seats down below would be about the same where they normally are. So this is just kind of a cool little cross section to see what it would look like without that regular end zone there. Now let's take a look at the facade a little bit closer, and you can see what it would look like on the outside. I think obviously one of the attractive things of renovating this end zone is also renovating that area. As you can see, they've got a lot of trees. They're putting up those tents for tailgating. That's more space for those pop-up white tents to go around, which you know they would love to have. It might even allow them to open up some of that green space a little bit more so they can do like when college game day comes to town and they don't have to like make space really, really, really hectic. But that's kind of what the outside would look, a little bit more rounded, a little bit cleaner, that, you know, brick architecture that we're very familiar with all around Auburn's campus on the outside. It would match everything. And then, of course, the giant video board. And what I like about this wall, too, is that the video board doesn't kind of, in this image of it, doesn't overtake everything like it does on the other side of the end zone. This rounded outer wall kind of makes it look a little, in my eyes, not as gigantic. It's still gigantic, but not as gigantic. We already got one giant board. Can you imagine have a bunch more? Yeah, so that's one of the big things I think would be a seller for this thing, is the more tailgating space that you can have, the better in my eyes. And that's moneymaker. That's getting people to town. That the whole point of, not the whole point, but one of the bigger points of having, you know, a big college football town is so that the small town can benefit from it. And that would obviously help. So going back through them one more time, because like I said, this is going to be just a brief episode. So you guys that maybe catch it on the replay don't have to sit through a long live stream. Just want to try these from time to time, see how you guys like them. Here's that first image, upper outer view. So you can see that basically in these 2015 proposals with surveys and all that don't seem to be moving forward, you can see that outer wall end zone with a giant video board and changes to the seating, which we'll look at here on the inside. Somewhat of an upper deck just below that giant video board, club level box seats. Seats are pushed forward maybe a little bit more, and then, you know, they keep those ground level seats too as well. That cross section right there of the seats and the boxes and all that kind of stuff, and then the outer area with the cleaning up, probably landscaping, flattening of that area to make it a little bit more, shall we say, pleasing to the eye. And that's really what this would be all about. As I pull this back out, this proposal was not just about a north end zone expansion and renovation, but making the surrounding area better too, which is what you typically do just for traffic flow patterns in terms of foot traffic, not, and to some degree, other traffic, because that would be Heisman Drive that goes around that get renovated. All right, so do this for me right now. If you're watching live or if you're on the replay, post if you've got a question or a comment about this particular topic. I'll hit as we end our show today. So if you got that, hit that in there right now in the comments section. I'll give you a couple reminders to keep in mind. As always, if you're not subscribed, do so. Have a subscriber giveaway going on right now for a signed Auburn football prize package on our journey to 5,000 subscribers. You need to be subscribed and leave a comment in the video comment section. The live chats don't count. You have to do it in the comment section. That's an entry into the drawing. You can also be a channel member, a booster club member. Check out all those links in the description for ways you help support our content. But you don't have to do that. You can just be here, be part of our little family, smash that like button. That's all you got to do. All right, let's see here. John says, I like it. Bothers me how it is not as nice as Jordan-Hare. I'm not getting the what you're trying to get at there, John. So you're saying that Jordan-Hare isn't as nice now and that it needs this? Is that what you're saying? But you like the renovation ideas, it seems like. As Bryant Denny. Oh, we got a Bama fan. Or maybe he's just an Auburn fan talking about he still thinks Bryant Denny's nice. I don't know. Listen, I've never been to Bryant Denny. I've been on the outside of it. I will say that Walk of Champions area they have is really, when I drove by it a few times with my Auburn flag up, it was relatively nice looking. But you can have the nicest stadium in the world, but if you can't get your fans to show up for it, it doesn't really matter. So that's the main thing right now. And that's the whole purpose of bringing up this topic, is not to say that we need these renovations, but just to say that this has been talked about in the past. What do we think about that? There's been speculation and concept art of other renovations that were potentially going to come out in the future. Since then, just simply revisiting these 2015 things. Oh, you're an Auburn student. So you do think it's well, I guess you can be an impartial comment then if you are an Auburn fan, an Auburn student, and just were blown away by that. So they can pour all that money in there they want. They got to be able to fill it up. And that's the main thing here. I think why you saw Auburn at this time do a survey. Again, that link doesn't work, to figure out if this would work for people, if they would be in favor of it, and if it's something worth investing time and resources in terms of expanding and renovating. And for now, it doesn't seem these concepts will be moving forward. We'll sit and see what happens. So if you got any other comments or questions about that, please do let me know. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today, spending some time talking about this topic on a morning live stream that was a little bit out of our normal schedule. So thank you all for being here. Until we talk to you again, War Eagle.